Hi everyone, I am Arpita. I am a sustainable fashion designer and stylist. I help you understand fashion to build a sustainable wardrobe. This video is part of a series where I will be talking to sustainable brands and industry experts to make you understand more about the sustainability in the fashion world. Today we have Neha Rao in the studio. Welcome Neha, thank you for being here. Please introduce yourself. Where are you from? Where did you study and all that?
I am a 28-year-old textile designer living in Bombay. My education per se has been in a number of places. My undergrad was at NIT Ahmedabad. My master's was in London at Chelsea College of Art and Design, and my specialization per se is sustainable textiles.
Okay, great. As you are the expert at textiles, I want to gather as much fabric knowledge as possible today. That takes me to my first question. Being in the fashion industry, I know that there are so many possibilities for different kinds of textiles. Why did you choose sustainability in textiles? You could have chosen the easier path to build your career. But what inspired you to choose sustainability?
It was a journey, really. I think the more time, my journey really started with the fashion industry, where I was working with designers. I was working in the crux of, understanding the process, because it was just the beginning of my journey. And the more time that I, were with people and with material, I realized that this industry is fairly complex. There are so many things that can be improved, and sustainability was one answer to all these problems. And I truly felt responsible as a citizen, really, that my skill set needs to add some value
Yeah.
to our lives. So that was my reason.
I'm very happy to find a person who is so deeply passionate about all this. Whoever knows you, they know about suit.
Yeah.
It is your final year project for post graduation in London, right? Please explain to everyone what is Suit and how did you find it? What are the latest updates about Suit?
Yes, as you rightly pointed out, it was my journey that started out during my master's. It was my thesis. And when I came back, I felt very passionate about my project. And I was like, this can't die just yet. I started working on it when I came back. One of the things, one of the current updates really is that with Suit, of course, we survived the pandemic. We are now looking at more B2B side of things, where we really feel the brand needs to add certain values per se, or the additional little bit of a touch, that even your material is printed with industrial ink, sustainable ink, really. So I extract that ink from huge industrial chimneys where the chemical reaction happens. Carbon black is a byproduct. I take
Yeah.
this, I make an ink, and I print on different materials.
We all know there is pollution around us. Your initiative to use that and make textile prints is really amazing. I wanted to create a documentary on Suit, but because of the pandemic and lockdowns, I had to hold for now. I hope I'll be able to do that in the near future. Apart from Suit, you head the textile department in Hemp Fabric Lab. Do you work only with hemp as the name suggests? What kind of other sustainable fabrics do you have?
So with Hemp Fabric Lab, yes, we our core material is hemp, but we do help and deal with hemp and hemp blends. So
Okay.
and because also there is hardly any players in the market that are looking at hemp, as a material. So we truly
Yeah.
felt that there was a gap in the market. We felt very passionate about bringing the cannabis, revolution to India. So yes, there is a mix of a lot of things, but yes, hemp is our core material.
So, cotton was always considered a very eco-friendly fabric, right? It is supposed to be a natural, biodegradable fabric, but it has become not so eco-friendly because of the pesticides used, the water consumption. Mill-made cotton fabric has its own way of adding the pollution. The alternate option is going for organic cotton. Now, my question to you is, hemp has become a new trending fabric. Do you think it will become another cotton in the future? How do you think we can save these eco-friendly fabrics from being turned into bad for the environment?
I mean, when does natural material become bad? It's because of the
Yeah.
processing. It's because of how a consumer truly treats the fabric. If it is going to the landfill, if it's not, life of the product is not justified, then it causes issue. So, in terms of hemp, yes, I mean, our aim is that it becomes the next cotton, because cotton itself has a lot of issues, rightly pointed out with you.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
hemp does have that property that solves for it from the pesticides point of view, the yield per acre, the fiber property, the durability, all of that set across, or put together. Truly, the marking of hemp is much above than what cotton would be. So we are aspiring and we are working towards it, hoping for the best.
Another fabric I want your input about is lyocell. Can you give some details about this fabric?
Sure. So, lyocell is a form of rayon, essentially viscose, and what Tencel is a brand name. A lot of times that
Yeah.
is a confusion.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
lyocell is the material name. Now, and this is extracted from eucalyptus. Generally, the wood pulp is the source, and
Okay.
it's like the pulp is made. The extraction happens with a dry jet. Wet spinning, that's the process.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Material has beautiful properties because it's extremely lustrous. I mean, it would classify sustainable because the source is a natural material, but then
Yes.
again, the processing also does have some amount of chemicals. I mean, nothing is 100%, but yeah, we can.
Yeah, 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 yeah. At least some part of it is good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And do you use lyocell in your fabrics, like hemp fabrics, where you have that mix of it?
Yeah, we do actually. Hemp and lyocell make a great blend. The
Okay.
idea with us is that we want the natural fiber family to be together from the biodegradable point of view as well. So yes,
Yeah.
it makes beautiful, lustrous material suitable for innerwear as well.
That's really nice to know. Okay, now next question. What kind of colors do you use at Hemp Fabric Lab? Do you have options for bright colors? I know bright colors need a little chemicals in it.
Yeah.
Explain to the viewers or the listeners about the shades of the colors possible in natural dye.
Absolutely. So, bright colors, yes. The brighter the color, the more amount of pigment in it. Ideally, natural colors are muted because of just the nature and the source of extraction.
Yeah.
What we do is with hemp, and the reason that we use azo-free chemical dye is because azo-free is of that toxic. Azo-free. That's why it is named like that. Now, of course,
Okay.
there are a number of other chemicals in it, but at least that the most toxic compound, it is of it. The reason that chemical dye is more suitable for hemp is because the durability. The garment or the fabric will stay longer in your shelf life because of the nature of the product. Because of
Okay.
which wash it the number of times, you're going to dry it in the sun the number of times. You want a color that will last you that long. In
Yes.
terms of natural dyeing, unfortunately, you also need chemicals to fix it. But the color fastness, the sun fastness, is not as good as what a chemical is. So,
Okay.
in my advice, it is truly a matter of what your end application is. If it is a
Okay.
cushion, definitely it can be a natural dye. It won't be out there so much. It will be washed less. But if it's a uniform that washed quite often, then in that case we would advise a chemical dye is a much better from the application point of view.
That's azo-free dye. So that's the dye which you use. Is it like a chemical which you get in the market? What is it? Do you get it in the market for regular people?
Yes, so I mean the dyer, essentially a dyer supplier will have azo-free options. This
Okay.
is a chemical dye. A reactive dye generally comes under the azo-free. So azo-free reactive dye generally is what you would call. But colloquially, azo-free is also. So by European standards, they don't
Huh?
let any dyeing per se or any fabric that has azo in it. It's a highly toxic
Okay.
chemical.
Okay. Now coming to my next question. If a person wants to buy fabrics with natural colors, how is it helpful for them personally? Why should they choose natural colors?
So I mean, just to break a myth here, during my research when I was looking at coloration,
Huh.
most of the times the answer to choose sustainably would be natural dyes. It has the
Yes.
color natural. We feel that we're doing the right thing, we're picking the right thing,
Yeah.
but we don't
Yeah.
realize that natural also has chemicals. It has to be boiled at a certain temperature. It has to. I mean, the compounds that go into it. It will only make sense in a smaller scale, but when we're looking at production numbers, natural dyes don't make sense. Also, the
Okay.
post life cycle, even the usability. One of the reasons
Huh.
that we throw garments away is because it is faded. In most
Yeah.
cases, how many of us
Yes.
truly recycle it or re-dye it? So
Yes.
most I would suggest that maybe a more conventional approach of looking at coloration needs to happen. An answer to sustainability may not be just natural dye, but truly looking at what application is my product being. What am I using
Oh.
it for? What is the material that I'm using? Why does natural dye make sense for that application? Is the question that maybe we need to answer.
Okay, okay, that's a great thing. I got to know so much about it now. Okay, moving on to the next one. When it comes to your suit, what are the possible colors? How skin friendly is the dye made from suit?
So the coloration per se is slightly restricted because we are taking a burnt matter which is already black.
Yeah,
So I'm able
yeah.
to mix it with different binder compositions and make a recipe. So I'm able to get the blackest of suit black, and I get shades of gray. But what we can do is we can print on different colored material, light to dark. That is not a
Okay.
restriction. The color
Okay.
itself, and if at all I do want to achieve a different color,
Yeah.
it works with black pigment. So if I add it to the red color, it will become maroon. So it truly, so
Oh,
that
that's
way
it.
that will be used. Yeah.
Okay,
And
okay.
yeah, in that sense.
How skin friendly is this dye?
Yes, yes. So that's the most asked questions, because after all it is industrial waste. Initial part of my research, I did give it for clinical testing, and to test for the toxicity.
Okay.
Soot is behaves like, I would, if I had to compare it, like dust. If it is close to your
Okay.
skin, it will not cause any issues. Even if it goes in your eye, it is like dust. You put water, it will come off. When
Huh.
the fabric is washed per se in the washing machine and it goes in the water, it will just settle at the
Yeah.
bottom of the ocean, but it will not cause any harm to the marine life. But
Okay.
it is harmful, as if I had to compare like pollutions. We have
Huh.
carbon monoxide in the air, which causes
Yes.
problem when you inhale it. It is absolutely the same compound. So
Okay.
inhaling it has to be extremely careful. So when we're dealing it, we have it in a wet form. We
Okay.
make sure that the compounds don't like fly in the air because they're extremely fine. So we treat it in the
Yes.
wet form, and then that's how we process it.
Okay. Okay.
Typically,
Okay. Oh,
bone on skin, it will not cause any harm, no carcinogenic compounds.
wow, that's a very informative answer, Neha. People who are listening, hope you are taking some notes. Nowadays, there is very little difference between activewear and regular clothes. This increased the use of stretch fabric across all types of clothes. Even our lingerie has elastic in them. Stretch material is added to the fabric so that they can be made into well fitted clothes. It's kind of comfortable to wear, but its use in fabric makes it more difficult to recycle. Is there any alternate for elastin or spandex or lycra? Is there any alternate for it?
That's a good question. I think, as per my knowledge, I feel recycle polyester, the
Yeah.
recycle polyester family is the solution till date.
Yes.
But yes, a sustainable option that has the properties of lycra. As per my knowledge, I have not been able to find any. But one
Okay.
more thing we can experiment is the structure of the fabric. Now, knit and weaving, they're the two different types of
Yeah.
fabric. So
Yes.
even with knitwear, we can use natural material and there'll be some stretchability to it.
Stretchable. Yes.
So maybe we design products better. The material that we use, how we use it, even the construction of the garment can be in certain ways that we try to solve for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, I didn't think much about this sustainable stretch fabric. So there is no much of these fabrics in the industry then.
None that I
Mm.
have, like general solution right now that I have seen or maybe read about is generally recycled. Of course, like lycra, spandex, they're all in the family of polyesters, but there are certain
Yeah.
components that are different. Maybe that could be an answer.
I have learned a lot from you today. Finally, one last question. From a common person's perspective, how to be sustainable when it comes to fabric?
I think one, as a consumer, one has to be a little. I mean, it's a little bit of your time, space, energy, and even your thought process, really, as to just understanding what you're buying. To understand why you're buying, and also as a consumer, I think we just need to succumb and have self control, because we go on this spree, right? Like we see something and we're like,
Yeah.
okay. But maybe we need
Fine.
to, okay, I would think about it and come back to it is a good approach.
Huh.
Once time passes, your desires are, put in one compartment, we will be a better judge of truly understanding the difference between need and want. That could
Huh.
be one way of looking about it.
Okay.
As we all know, our grandparents, our parents are definitely more sustainable than what we are. A lot of tips and tricks to understand how the household used to work.
Huh. Huh.
We can increase the life of a product by truly making sure that we use it for different. We become creative with the fabrics that are with us.
Huh. Huh.
Recycling, donating it is the most easiest ways to solve for it. So I feel,
Yes.
as a consumer, I think in this 1 year of pandemic, we have realized that we don't need so many clothes. We can live with them
Oh
limited.
yeah. Oh yeah. That's so true. That's so true.
And as of course, like me being in the fashion industry, it's quite a difference of opinion when I say, like, we don't need clothes, but I need, like, we have to,
Exactly.
like, become our livelihood. But
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Like, we truly need to understand what do we need, how do we need, and how much do we need. And good quality, yeah, like good quality will last you long. That should be the mantra when we're shopping.
Yes, that's actually a really clear and easy to understand answer you gave there, Neha.
Thank you so much.
And when we say sustainable fabrics and all those kind of things, people start buying sustainable things, so they
Yeah.
dump their wardrobe with these things. That's also not good again. Normal people who watch all these things, I wanted them to understand everything like easily. You gave all the answers that way. Thank you so much for being here and helping everyone understand the fabric.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure, and it was so beautiful to just share my journey with you and my learnings in this small time in this industry. But thank you so much.
I will leave Neha's Instagram link in the description box. That is the easiest way to reach her. Right, Neha?
Yes, my Instagram is always active.
Click on the screen to watch more sustainability related videos on my channel. See you all in the next video. Bye.